All right, welcome, Sabi, to my podcast, Laughter Lab. I'm so happy to have you here. This is such a pleasure. How are you doing today?
I'm doing fantastic. And I'm so excited to be here as well, man. Who doesn't want more laughs in their life?
I
So I'm
know.
ready for it.
Well, you'd be surprised. So, Sabi, I know what you do, and I think what you do is incredible. But there are tons of people out there that will be listening to this. They probably want to know more about what you do. So, can you tell me briefly about the things you do?
I do multiple things, full time. I am a chief information officer and a chief information security officer at Clackamas Community College. I've been in public sector for almost 20 years in 25 plus years in technology specifically. So that's my bread and butter. And then also I do many other things. I've been teaching for last 17 years at Portland Community College. So teaching for almost 20 years. I've taught at local university schools and everything. I'm part of few nonprofit organizations here. One is PMI. PMI stands for Project Management Institute. So I've been volunteering there in different capacities since 2008. Almost 17 years now. I'm the past president of the chapter. These days I mentor and coach project managers, business analysts. I'm involved with SIM Portland chapter. The SIM stands for Society for Information Management. That's for IT leaders, project directors, managers, anybody who's looking for that leadership role in technology. And one of the coolest things, my friend, is the impact it's having on the next generation. So in the last 13 years, we have given almost $1 million in scholarships to students who are
Wow.
pursuing their degree in information systems. This is a great, great way to give back and making that impact to the next generation. I'm also on the board of NSA Oregon, National Speakers Association Oregon chapter. I'm an angel investor. I invest in startups. I go around the world. I'm a keynote speaker, so I go around the world and I speak, I coach, mentor, and do all kind of fun stuff.
Wow, I'm like, this is exciting to hear all of this. And this program sounds fantastic. And surely you don't get bored, I guess,
Ah, never get bored. Never
right?
get bored.
That's great. So, as you know, I'm a great believer in like humor and laughter, in
Yes.
life and especially in the workplace. So, I
Yes.
have some questions for you. So, first of all, I wanted to hear like what like humor and laughter, what role do they play in your life? And also, maybe when you were growing up, was there somebody in your family or someone that you remember that, as the funny person or somebody that like, I don't know, do funny things or jokes or things
Hmm.
like that?
It's interesting because I grew up in India and grew up in a very, I will say, middle class environment, and because of so much pressure on studies
Mhm.
and not much effort on laughter. So I will say the first many years of my school time was just focus on study, 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 because there's so many folks over there, and there's such a tough competition. Like even to get to a good college, we had like 15 seats, and there are 20,000 students
Wow.
who are going for that seat. So I will say very serious, like studious kind of a kid, always studying. So didn't have much, focus on laughter or anything.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
and you then surround yourself with people who are like you, right? When you're a kid. So
Hmm.
guess what? Everyone around me was that studious and not much laughter, man. So I missed that opportunity there.
Hmm. Interesting. And maybe was there anyone in your family that you remember or recall being like, I
Hmm.
don't know, just curious about this?
You know, now since then,
Hmm.
now in my family, I have folks who are much about laughter. My wife, she cracks me up all the time. So I'm blessed to have her in my life. She's amazing. My brother, he's
Hmm.
amazing. he throws jokes around, and he's always in that funny mode all the time, 24/7. So yes. So yes, those two folks right now, they bring that joy, that happiness, and that laughter in my life.
Yeah, this is great. How do you feel about, or sorry, what's the impact on your opinion? What does humor and laughter? How does it impact the workplace? That's what I was trying to
Yeah.
say. Yes.
Yeah. There is so much stress at your work environment. There is so much going on. There is all the time, especially right now, what we're seeing, the speed of the change, which we're seeing right now, is the slowest. Has been exponential with so much going on, especially after COVID. Now with AI coming into the picture, and so much uncertainty around, okay, job losses, who's going to take my job, and the current economic structure, like today and yesterday, the stock market is losing like 1,500 points yesterday, 1,300 points today. Like world is coming to an end, and
Mm,
that brings a lot of stress in that. So if you can bring that laughter to reduce that stress and
mm,
that, and then bring that calmness in your work environment and have those conversations, because that laughter helps to reduce that stress level, able to connect with other people,
mm.
as long as you are keeping that laughter or that jokes in a respectful manner, right? Don't cross that line. That's always the piece in there. It definitely helps to build those relationships, and also, uh, what they say is it access you do your body does more exercise when you're laughing rather than when you're frown, right? So health wise also it's really good. It
Yeah.
helps to lower many of those stress, um, cortisone or whatever scientific people say, helps
Mm,
to reduce those levels, so helps you be a little bit more healthier in life. And as well, coming from India, we used to, I've heard and have seen many folks when I used to go out for walk in the morning, like laughter yoga, right? So there will be a bunch of old uncles and aunts in the park in the morning, and there is one leader, and they just start laughing, like somebody is just like ha, 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 and then everybody else is start laughing. So that brought like so much of that smile on my face,
mhm.
going through that park. But definitely coming back to your question, it definitely helps to build those relationships, and helps you to lead a healthier lifestyle.
Oh, this is, and I heard about the laughter yoga in India.
Yeah.
I watched video. I never been. I never participated. I would love to, maybe one day walk in the park and join those folks. That would be because I mean, and I hear like a lot about laughter. I mean, this is
Yeah.
what I'm getting here, right? Things behind the scientific things about laughter, which is very
Yeah.
great that you're sharing that with everybody. And yeah, we know that laughter is contagious, right? So if
Yeah.
somebody starts laughing, then we all start laughing, right?
Maybe
Um,
it's time to start that club here, man. Right
hmm,
here in Portland metro area. That will
yes.
be pretty cool.
Okay, that's it. Done. We're gonna start it. This is awesome. So, now, was there a situation, or do you feel like do you use laughter, or do you use humor when you like at work? Because I know you just shared with us you do so many different things, right? But
Yeah.
do you feel like did you use it, or when do you use it? What is it that you do with it?
Yeah. Yeah, it's usually, you have to be very mindful about where you can use humor. When you're having a serious conversation with somebody which is impacting, that you can't bring humor in there, because that might be condescending to that particular individual, right? You
Mm,
also need to understand, not only be self-aware about yourself but others as well, right? What is their personality, and how do they take laughter, right? You can't just push your own laughter onto them,
mm,
and that might not be very beneficial when you're looking to build relationships.
mm,
But it's always, figuring it out, and paying attention when you're having those conversations, then throwing it out in a lighter joke or anything
mm,
during those conversations, to to build on that, right? The conversation which you are having. So you're not changing the path of your conversation, but you're building on that. And that's where I tend to bring laughter in and share stories and all kind of things, even during my speaking engagement. So I always try to bring that laughter, and I laugh is like, one of the examples which I usually give is I was born in the most perfect city in the world,
Mm.
right? And people usually say like, okay, what is the most perfect city in the world? Like, where is it? Like,
Yes.
I ask that question, and people like, I say, go to Google and find the most perfect city in the world.
Ah.
And people start going on Google, and then they will see a study done by BBC which said Chandigarh is the most perfect city in the world,
Oh.
right?
Uh-huh.
It's northern part of India, 5 hours drive from New Delhi. And then I ask the question, is like, then people usually ask me that question, like, Sabi, if that's the most perfect city,
Hmm.
what the heck you're doing in Portland, right?
Yes.
And the answer back to them is, guys, it became perfect after I left the city.
I like that. That's cool. I didn't know about that. That's really
Yeah.
cool. I know that there are studies that about this is more tied to happiness, right, than laughter itself. But they say that one of the core thing is like human connection, right,
Yes.
where you have community, where people work together, they know each other. That's like, and also it's tied to happiness and longevity, that
Yes.
people that like live longer, it's because they have a strong community.
Yes. Yes. Because you connect with people, right?
Mm.
Happiness helps to connect with so many things. It's all about energy you're projecting as well. People connect with the energy,
Hmm.
and you are happy. And if you're happy, you're going to connect and surround yourself with people who are
Mm.
going to be happy.
Mm.
So I usually tell people, it's like, if you are always, in that down mode, try to just fake a smile. Just, watch a funny video. Just if you're greeting somebody, just start smiling, and you will be start connecting with the other individual.
Mm-hmm.
Start practicing it if you are not, like, I have practiced this so much. I was a very, very serious guy growing up, as I mentioned earlier, right? So if you look at my previous pictures and everything, and even my conversations,
Uh-huh.
I am very, very serious. And uh, that's the perception now everybody has about me in my family, because
Mm.
even my younger cousins and everybody is like, oh, he's a serious guy. But it's tough to beat that perception, because it takes a lot of time. So yeah,
Mm.
smile, smile, smile.
Yes.
Fake a smile,
Mm.
but be happy from inside. Figure out how you
Mm.
can uh, be grateful smaller things in life. That brings sometimes happiness
Mm.
for you.
Yes, I love it because I know, like, as a matter of fact, we know there are a lot of studies about, like, if you smile, to somebody, possibly they're gonna smile back, right?
Yes.
It's like the same thing with laughter. It's contagious.
Yeah.
We mimic facial expression as, human beings, right? So if I approach you at
Yeah.
work or like in a meeting or whatever with a big smile, you're eventually gonna smile back. And I like the fact it's like, yeah, maybe you don't feel like it, but just
Yeah.
try, right? And then
Yeah.
eventually that's going to resonate, that's going to amplify in your pain and might, go beyond, right? That is going to become real. Then you might even change your mood because you
Absolutely.
faked a smile, right?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Power.
Create that environment where you can smile, right? So one of the things which I usually tend to do is, even in your work environment, there's so much uh, distraction and stress. Even if you're in your office and you're having that one-on-one meeting, there's so much, right? Energy, stress, everything. Go out for a walk, that's what I tend to do. I like, let's go for a walk. Everybody says, oh, let's go out for a walk. In an open environment, you're walking, your mind is better, your stress level is down, and then it gives you that freedom to just, you know, talk about a few jokes and laugh and share and connect. And that's
Mhm.
what it is all about, right? Building those relationships, building those connections with each other.
Yes. And do you feel that maybe sometimes at work, especially, I don't know, maybe with tech, that maybe laughter could be underestimated, or maybe it could be like people, I don't know, like people don't believe in it so much. Maybe they feel like, oh, we're business here. We are like, we're making money. We're serious. There's no time for that. Do you feel that?
Right, right. And that is caused by uh, so much which is going on in tech right now. Especially, one of the things which I've seen is cybersecurity, right?
Mm,
If you talk to a cybersecurity analyst, many of those are stressed out because we are being attacked every single day, millions numbers of time, and that takes a toll on you as an individual. When you have to be right every single time, but on the other side, the attacker needs to be right just one time. Think about the stress level it has
mm,
on individuals, right?
mm,
There is so much change in technology which is happening. Most of the times, tech folks are very introvert, right? It's like, give me what I need to do and I will get it done, right? Don't talk to me. I am focused in my cubicle, coding, figuring out
mm,
solutions, everything, right? So it becomes really tough to get them out of
mm.
that and say, okay, we're gonna have, we're gonna meet, we're gonna laugh. It's sometimes that could be very foreign to them,
Mm.
uh, especially in tech, as you mentioned.
Interesting. I feel like I was having, in the other episodes, conversation with other leaders and entrepreneurs like you, and sometimes we share the fact that maybe it's difficult for some folks to just be, you know what I mean? Just like, oh, be yourself, or just like
Yeah.
allow yourself to maybe laugh and smile because of the pressure of the work environment or pressure from society about how we need to look, or the fact that is the work culture that we need to be always
Yeah.
doing things, always busy, always, it's like, oh, there is no time, right?
Yeah. Another thing is, scientifically, we have been conditioned like that, right?
Mm,
Everything else around our society, our culture. So we have, two sides of the brain, the left and the right. So left side of the brain is where all these, you know, sabotagers live. Right side of the brain is where there is a sage mind.
hmm
And sabotage is all about creating that anxiety, judging ourselves, right? We
Yes.
always tend to think, okay, if I say anything, what is other person going to think about me? They're like, why do you care? But
Mm,
what I've seen is most of the time, folks are spending so much of their time utilizing their left side of the brain, and they tend to just block their energy and their conversations because they're always okay, not only judging themselves but also judging others, the way they look, the way they talk, the way they pronounce words, the
hmm
way they speak, they dress, everything around that, and then they judge themselves as like, okay, what if I say anything? How that individual is going to take it? And one of the things which I usually tell is don't, just put yourself in a cage because what somebody else might be thinking, because you don't even know what they might be thinking. They have they might be thinking 0% about you, but you have made it so
mm,
big
mm,
that then you tend to behave certain way, and then once you start behaving a certain way, then you are conditioned, you are in that chain, in that block, and then it's really tough to get out of that. So you need to start be more aware about yourself, be more mindful, start doing meditation, get your real authentic self out, and start using the right side of the brain, right, where love, compassion, connection, everything is in that right side of the brain.
Yeah, you just have to allow yourself to go there, right? I guess, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love this conversation. So, say what if I was, one of those manager or CEOs that it's like it's really serious or doesn't really allow that laughter, humor in my workplace, but I do want
Hmm.
to make a change. What suggestion do you have for me? What simple thing can I do to maybe have, or more of that in my workplace, or infuse
Yes.
my environment, work environment with more joy?
The first thing which you need to start with is, do you believe, as a leader, do you even believe in it, right?
Mhm.
Because you can't just fake it and say just do it. Because if you don't believe the value it's going to provide, then don't do it. Simple. Because that's not gonna. Uh, that's not going to go very well within your team. You need to champion that, right? You need to lead from the front, right? So if you tell somebody, hey, you need to laugh, and you are serious all the time, it's not going to work, right? So that's one. You need to start believing from inside. It's like, yes, I believe in it. I am going to lead up front, and this is how I'm going to do it. That's one. And then number two is why, you know, why it's important for your team. You need to convey that message, like, why are you doing this? Because otherwise they're going to think like, oh my God, you're pushing another thing. I have to laugh? What? That's the most scary thing you can tell somebody, to laugh. It's like, no. So, you have to share that why, and then put some things in place, because you need to create a behavior. That's a behavior change of doing that, right? So you can't just do it one time and say, you bring in a speaker and say, okay, the speaker is coming. They're going to give you 1 hour, tips and tricks how to start laughing. And then the speaker goes away, or the trainer or coach goes away, and then they're back where they started, right? So it has to be a consistent effort, maybe for weeks. And once you start seeing the difference, because then folks start seeing benefit in them, right? That's where the actual change happens. When they start seeing the benefit for themselves and for their team members, and then they say, okay, yes, we need to continue on that path. So that's my tip, or suggestion or advice.
Yeah, this is great, and yeah, it resonates with me so much because apart from an entrepreneur, I'm also like an entertainer.
Yeah,
And one of the core thing with that, it's like if you don't believe, your audience is not gonna believe, right? And that to me, like that's a lesson in life. You don't believe in your things that you do. You don't believe in your values. How are the people gonna believe in it, right?
absolutely.
If you doubt about it, if you're not certain about it, then it's not gonna work,
It's
right?
not going to work.
So if I go, say, if I do a show, if I go on stage and I believe I am I don't know, an astronaut, like or whatever, then I really believe and I act that out, but people are gonna believe it. If I doubt and again, nah, they think like, oh, this person is an imposter. It's not real. This is great.
Yeah.
So I already see your webpage up there and in your LinkedIn. So I would just want to do, if people want to know more about what you do, or they want to get in touch with you, where else can they find you?
Yeah. So call me, text me.
Yes. That's like I like that way, right? Talk.
Yeah, it's
Real
like,
human connection,
yeah,
right?
why, 971-444-5496. Give me a call, text me, whatever. It's on my website, www.sabywarach.com. Scan that QR code, connect with me on LinkedIn, follow my journey. I would love to follow your journey and learn from that, because that's what we are here for. Keep learning from each other, keep pushing each other to get better, and happy to have these conversations. So in any ways I can, my goal here, or my purpose in life, is to impact as many lives as I can in a positive way, of course. So I'm always looking for those opportunities where I can make an impact, whether uh, you're looking for a speaker, or whether you're looking for a coach, or whether you're looking for a guide or mentor, or you just need to have a conversation about life. I'm here to help and make a difference.
Yes, this is great. This is so special, and I love it. I feel like, if you can change somebody's, just one person's life, you have changed the world, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely. One step at a time, man. One step at a time.
Well, thank you again, Sammy, for this wonderful conversation. Thank you for your time. It's been a pleasure.
Absolutely, buddy. Thank you so much. You take
Thank
care.
you. Yes. Nice. I pause. This was great. Fantastic. I love having those chat. I love chatting with people like you. And I feel like I would love to grab a coffee maybe one
Yeah,
day. Yes.
absolutely.
Should I
Let's put
where
it.
should I go on
Yeah.
your Calendly and I looked it up?
No, my schedule is always, since I work,
Yes.
with the job and everything, it becomes really, really tough to
Hmm.
have any open Calendly in there. But let's see. Hmm. And where do you live?
I'm in Southeast. I'm in Milwaukee, but basically Selwood. I mean, I'm like 1 block away from Selwood. Mhm.
Yeah. Uh, we can do
Oh, let me see my calendar.
next Thursday.
Oh, let me see. Let me look at my calendar. My phone, I just wanted to.
Or Friday?
Next week, Thursday or Friday. Oh, wait, I think we can do that. Thursday, what's happening on Thursday? Let me just look. Yeah, should we do Thursday the 10th?
Yeah. Do you want to do morning, afternoon? What works?
Morning is best for me.
Morning.
Mm-hmm.
We can do 9 a.m.
Yes,
9 to 9:45.
yes, whatever you prefer. 9:45?
9 to 9:45. I
Ah,
have a
9 to
meeting at 10.
9:45. Okay,
Yeah.
perfect. 9 to 9:45. Where should we meet?
Clackamas Town Center
Oh,
or
perfect.
somewhere. Yeah.
Yes, yes. Okay. Do you have a place or do you wanna?
If you can find a place, I
Okay,
can
I'll
just.
look at Clackamas and see what's around there, and then
Yeah.
I'll put in the invite. Yes.
Perfect.
Thank you, Sabi. This is great.
Thank you, buddy.
Yes.
Take care. Have
You
a
too. You
great
have a good
Friday.
weekend. All right.
Go out for a walk. It's going to be beautiful today.
I know it's sunny. I can't believe it.